guys, it's Shayla here. You know how I told you guys that I would be uploading like every so often? Yeah, I kind of lied. I wanted to say this first off. I'm so sorry if like I'm talking weird throughout the entire video. As you can see, I'm not sure if the camera's picking up. My cheek is swollen because I'm having gum tissue problems. I'm not gonna go into details because it's kind of gross. Got medication yesterday to take care of it and everything, and it sucks to basically smile, talk, eat, basically do anything with my mouth. That's kind of why I'm like talking weirdly. So I just want to say I apologize from now. I'm going to do like dental surgery or whatever like on Monday, so hopefully like I can get back to like talking normal and not like this, not like I'm talking to the side of my cheek. I'm really excited to show you, but I was one of those lucky people who got the conspiracy palette. Now, I know, like, I'm uploading this, like, maybe 2 to 3 weeks late. I get it. I understand. Funny story, I actually got this literally when it dropped on Thursday. Can't even remember the day it was. I think it was November 3rd or the 2nd or something. And I literally just waited on my laptop at 1 o'clock. I went to Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and I'll probably show you the footage of, like, me, like, on the website, because I was so, like, anxious.
Like, I will refresh this. Like, okay, let's try this again. Okay, it goes into like my downloads, and like look at this, all from like the website. I'm like, I don't need any downloads. I just want you to send me to the freaking website. About blank. All right. Yeah, it keeps like dropping to my downloads. I'm like, what is this? What is this? Okay, so officially gave up. Oh my god, Morphe's working. Okay, well, I'm gonna type in Morphe came to the clutch because Beauty Bay is also shut down as well. So, alright, Morphe, let's go.
The cosmetics, Jeffree Star's website was shut down. Morphe was backed up. I was going to spend a whole bunch of money on Beauty Bay so I can get it. Beauty Bay was completely shut down. I actually got this palette from Morphe because I was lucky enough. I actually used my head and I was like, wait a second. I think it was like around like 114. I was like, wait a second. I think Morphe has the palette. Like, let me go on the Morphe website. And it took me a while, and then I just kind of like breezed through the checkout process. And as I was checking out, when I put in my address, I didn't put in my school address, so it didn't send to my school. It said over like back home, and like typed in the address, my home address, and so it's been sitting in my bedroom for the past 2 weeks because I've been in school being like busy doing newspaper stuff, and then also just regular schoolwork as well. So I haven't really had the time to sit down and like talk about this palette whatsoever. Altogether, this palette was, the conspiracy palette was $52, but like because of tax and shipping from the Morphe website, it was literally like altogether like $61.25, I believe. And this is like the most expensive. I'm so sorry. It's my gum. Like, if I say something weird, I'm so sorry. This is the most expensive palette I've ever bought, I've ever owned, or anything. I think the only other expensive palette that was kind of pricey that I have is the Kylie Jenner Valentine's Day palette, because I kind of stay away from buying palettes that I know like I can easily get them for $12 if I wait for the dupe or something. I did sit down and I watched a documentary of the creation of this palette, and I was just kind of like, well, like they drew me in with the documentary, and I really wanted to get it. And I don't know, it was coming from a support from Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. I've never really bought anything from Shane Dawson, and I've definitely never bought anything from Jeffree, and I will explain why later on in the video. Yeah, as you can see, conspiracy, a whole bunch of spirals. I'm not gonna lie, I did already open it to check to make sure that the palette was okay, because a lot of people were saying that we bought the palettes from Morphe. It was some of the shades, the palettes were broken, some of the shades were missing, and etc, etc. And like I just wanted to make sure like everything was okay. So like I already had opened this off camera already from yesterday, and because I haven't, you know, been able to like touch it or see it in like 2 weeks, of course, like I was like willing to open it and like get out of the way. But yeah, this is what the palette looks like with the trunk casing. And then this is basically all the shades here. I'm not gonna lie, even when I was watching the documentary and even when I was like debating on getting the palette, it was, for me, like the color story of the palette, I was just kind of like, it's not, I don't want to say it's all over the place, but like there was a lot of colors in here where I was just kind of like, oof, like for me, like I'm gonna be genuinely honest, like I'm not that good with eyeshadow like whatsoever. I do what needs to be done. I guess I can say it in that type of way. But other than that, like there's like food videos. I don't think my pills might actually look ashy on my skin. It's just, like I said, this is the first time I bought anything from Jeffree Star. And I'll go into details as to why I made the decision to make this my first purchase of Jeffree Star, because with his reputation and everything over the years, like, some of y'all might be looking at me being like, sis, like, what's up? And like, I will accept the coonery and the clownery comments. I will, because I understand, but just hold on. I'm gonna go into it a little bit as I'm doing some of the shades. Honest to God, I have no idea what to do with myself. Let me just swatch on 3 shades for you guys. I really want to go into Diet Cola. Ooh, that was like really soft. Let's do Conspiracy. Ooh, that was like really buttery. Cola, when I did like the little like swab, like it didn't really mess up the imprint of like the soda can, but then when I like swirled into Conspiracy, like that imprint has like already like vanished basically. Like I'm not describing it properly, but like y'all get it. Let's do Not a Fact. This actually is probably one of my favorite shades. And let's do Cheese Dust. That literally looks like I just ate like a whole bunch of like Cheetos. Cheese Dust. I'm gonna swatch that again. It's not really coming up really well on my camera. Not a Fact. Ooh. It's Diet Cola. Ooh, that's really pretty. And I think this is Conspiracy. This is what it looks like right now. Cheese Dust is like making me really anxious because like when I first swatched it, let me swatch it again. I don't want to say it's patchy because I know like Jeffree Star's formula is like, it's really good at like making like consistent eyeshadows and like good payoff, but maybe it just like, I don't know. I think, okay, this looks, maybe I'm just overreacting. This looks a little bit better. So yeah, so this is Cheese Dust, this is Not a Fact, Diet Cola, and then Conspiracy over here. Like, this is really not that heavy, like, whatsoever. I don't think I would travel with it, though, just because it's just so, like, I don't want to say it's bulky, because it's not, but, like, it's just so, like, just, like, it's just a lot. It's just a lot going on with the packaging. Let me stop talking, because I really can't do it that well, because of this going on. For eye primer, I forgot like my favorite eye primer at my dorm, which really like is so annoying. So I'm just gonna go with the Milani eyeshadow primer real quick. I also put tape to make like a nice sharp look. I'm gonna take my LA Colors brush and I'm going to dab into Diet Root Beer as my transition shade. Ooh, it's nice. Usually with like transition shades that are brown, they really do not show up on my skin tone because obviously like I'm brown, like I'm a brown skin chick, and like, but this time I can actually see it come up. So I actually forgot to like actually pin my hair back, so let me do that real quick. But yeah, I just put on the transition shade, easy peasy. And this palette is literally so scary because I literally don't know what to do. I want to do something with What's the Tea, and I want to do my rides here. I think I'm just gonna risk it all, and I'm just gonna do, ooh, that black just like Ooh, look at that. Like, there's like a lot of, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but with the black, as soon as I started like patting into it, there's like a lot of kickback. I think I'm just gonna pat this into my eye and pray for the best. As I'm doing this, I'll go into details as to why I made the decision to, I guess in a way, support Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson, even though they both had very controversial past. For the longest time, I think maybe like since I was in high school, I knew who Jeffree Star was, and I knew people would tell me like, oh, Shay, like he's a racist, and I'm like, oh, well, like that's good to know. And then it wasn't until maybe like 2017 where like I actually like dug like a little bit deeper, and like the videos came out with him like calling the girls N-words, even though I don't like, it doesn't excuse anything, but I don't think they were actually black, but he decided to say that word like anyway, because out of self-defense, well, what he calls like out of self-defense, because they were calling him the F-word. Then he also on his MySpace, like he said, like really like talked about like black girls and how like I think it was one of like his MySpace skits, like he talked about like bleaching like her skin with like battery acid because her skin was bad. There was a rumor, I think it was either earlier this year or last year, honestly, like the years are just running together for me, so like I really don't know. Basically what they were saying was that he called another YouTuber, beauty YouTuber on here, a gorilla, and that was Jackie Aina. I mean, in people of color, they know that they should probably just, they know that Jeffree has a bad reputation, and they just don't buy into his products like whatsoever. There are some that I saw like after the conspiracy palette came out, they came out and they bought his products, and but that was a very few. I really did not see a lot of black YouTubers on this platform talking about Jeffree Star palette. Usually when like black YouTubers are talking about Jeffree Star, they're talking about do not support him, do not stand him, and everything like that, because of his past. He has apologized for his actions, and I believe, and I know that in 2018 when Shane did the first documentary with Jeffree, he basically came out, well, even before that, he made an apology video about the racism, and then I think afterwards, him and Shane basically like sat down and like talked about it in details about it, and a lot of people were very skeptical about the apology and like the details of what went on, because of course the N-word runs deep in my community. At the same time, like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh well, he like, you know, said he said like, oh, I'm sorry, like we should just forgive him. I'm like, no, like once you say that, how can you possibly get back? Like, you know what I mean? He has showed support for other people of color, for brands like Juvia's Place and Beauty Bakery. You know, especially in Juvia's Place's case, they decided to post his review on their, I think it was either their foundation or concealer, and people literally, like a lot of black people, a lot of women of color were just kind of like, I can't believe you're supporting this man who said XYZ about us, like you should know better and everything like that. And of course Juvia's Place was like, okay, but like at the same time he came out for support. I don't want to say this, but like with the black eyeshadow with my rides here, I feel like I have to really like put a lot on so that way it doesn't really come off gray. And I don't know if anybody else was like having those problems, but like that's just me. The pigmentation is good, it's just that like I really just have to like keep adding on more black onto my lid to do whatever nonsense I'm trying to make. Like, long story short, he's not accepted in the black community because of his past actions. And because of that, for the longest time, I did not want to support Jeffree, because obviously, like, I don't want to be anywhere associated with somebody who said the N-word and has not apologized or anything like that. But the thing is that he has apologized, even though I know it could be very skeptical, like, oh, he's just doing it for the clout and everything. Like, I do understand that viewpoint. But he also does make an effort to not only like talk about women of color, like women of color brands like Juvia's Place and Beauty Bakery and etc., but to also have a platform for, and also give support to smaller influencers that happen to be Black. Like, I know some of the YouTubers that I was watching, when they were talking about the conspiracy palette, they actually were sent that palette by Jeffree himself, and they just so happened to be Black. Of course, that doesn't excuse his past actions. I know a lot of you are going to be like, Shayla, like, WTF, like, that doesn't mean anything. You can still, like, be calling us monkeys and stuff behind the scenes. I get it. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like he is genuinely making an effort to right his wrongdoings. Like, because he could literally just, like, be like, okay, I'm sorry, and then move right along and not even acknowledge, like, Black people, like, altogether. Like, that could be a thing. Let me put down the Black before I, like, become, like, more of a raccoon. I'm gonna go into... I don't know if I want to go into Trisha. I don't know if I want to go into Not a Fact. I'm gonna go into Not a Fact with my Kylie Jenner 12 brush. I don't know why I'm using this brush, because sometimes it just really disappoints me. I'm gonna go and, like, kind of hover it over this area in the crease, kind of making it like a smoky purple look. Someone admits that their wrongdoings was bad and hurtful, and they try within their power to, like, make it right and to do the right thing. I feel like that's something that and that's the thing, like, for me, I'm just like, okay, I'll take it into consideration, because there was, you know, those tea videos that would always, like, have Jeffree, like, slamming whatever brand with their foolishness. Like, I don't know what it was about, but, like, I would see it and I'd be like, wow, like, this guy's actually funny. Too bad, like, he's too controversial. But then last year, when the documentary with Shane came out, I was like, okay. I don't want to say I understood it, because that's not something that I want to say. He knows what he did was wrong, and he's trying to make up for the fact that it was wrong in the first place. I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm just going to keep talking and hope that this actually looks good. Talk about Shane, because Shane has also had his racist history as well. So Shane had a character that was supposed to be, like, this ghetto girl, like, stereotype, and then people were mad because, like, you know, he's also had a lot of racist jokes in his past. I think he has apologized for it, as I believe, as some people are still skeptical about it as well, which is understandable. Like, I get it. Like, this is not like a video where it's like, oh, like, get over it, like, he apologized. Like, I would never, like, come on here on this platform and tell anybody and be like, oh, well, they apologized, like, it's okay now. Like, if you feel within your heart that the things that they did was unjustified, and, like, well, I mean, like, calling the N-word, there's no justification for calling somebody the N-word or being racist. But, like, if you genuinely believe that there is no coming back for that, I can't change your opinion, because, like, as a Black person, how am I supposed to tell another Black person, oh, like, he didn't mean to say the N-word? Like, come on. Like, I don't, like, I would never. But, like, this is just for me personally. Like, I'm ready to give both of them a chance. I liked Jeffree's personality, and as of right now, I accepted his apology. I'm not telling all of you to do that. And I accepted it. I keep one eye open, like, kind of like, haha, like, I'll laugh along. But, like, if something else comes up, you know, well, I have this palette, so now I'll look like a bigger fool if something else, like, happens in the future. You know, like, on Twitter, a lot of people were like, oh my god, like, you guys are supporting, like, 30-year-old men who are racist and everything like that, blah, blah, blah. And here's how I see it. Like, the more we kind of, like, push away from the fact, the more that it's easy for them to just be like, okay, basically continue doing, you know, like, tone-deaf, racist stuff. Now, if somebody is literally crying out for help, saying, I'm so sorry, how can I make it right? Then it's time to educate. It's time to go in and be like, okay, like, here's what you did wrong, but here's what you can do. And I feel like they have that opportunity to do it. There are some people on this platform that is so far gone that I don't think that would be a good idea. Unless they themselves were like, yes, I want help. Like, I'm sorry, like, what can I do? I think that would be the only acceptable time. But, like, if you're just a racist, and you're just racist, like, what am I supposed to do to help you? Like, I'm not gonna be in, like, the same room with you. Like, I would not discuss anything with you. And, like, I've been blending in the same, like, shadow for, like, 7 minutes now. Okay, I'm gonna do something crazy. I've never done it. And I'm about to do it now. I'm gonna do a cut crease, but I'm not gonna do, like, a normal cut crease where you start from your inner corner and kind of, like, go out like this. I'm gonna do it kind of, like, right in the middle right here. Be a small, flat brush. My setting spray, I'm gonna spray it first. And I'm using the Fenty Beauty concealer. Okay. I'm just gonna dab it kind of right here, right in the middle. I'm gonna work on this side. I'm gonna see how this looks. I'm gonna put on sleep paralysis. I'm on sleep paralysis. I'm gonna use the flat brush. Let me spray it first. And I'm using the setting spray, the Urban Decay All Nighter. Forgot to say that. I'm going to go into sleep paralysis. I think I might do a mixture. I might just dabble in sleep paralysis first, and then I might put on Diet Cola on top of it. Oh, that is so nice. See, like, you might hate Jeffree, but when it comes to his formulas, like, at least I can actually pat this on with a brush instead of using my finger. Because usually when I do, like, a cut crease or something like this, it just never really goes my way. And I always have to, like, use my finger. I might risk it, and I think I might put on a little bit of Diet Cola. And also, like, one of the reasons why I also wanted to make a video is just that, I wanted to see if this was, like, black girl approved, basically. I wanted to see if this, how it would look on black skin, because, like I said, a lot of people who are black in the community, and they, of course, they have no obligation to do so, but aren't bold enough to, do something from Jeffree Star. There are some, like, don't get me wrong, like, there are some, I'm not gonna knock it. But I think because of his reputation and, like, the way that, like, you know, with his past, like, you don't have to support Jeffree Star. Like, I'm not telling you, like, you have to. I'm just saying, like, if someone is willing to turn over a new leaf, I think we should take that to also consideration. I feel like right now I'm just, like, a broken record, but, like, repeating myself, but, you know, it just had to be said. As a small YouTuber, like, probably, like, only, like, 3 people are gonna watch and be like, yeah, okay. But, like, I just wanted to say that on this platform. I'm gonna actually come back and I'm gonna just finish out the entire eye look. I'm gonna do the other side, so I'll be right back. I'm back. So I finished up the other side. And I put a little bit of mascara on. I actually forgot to bring my nice fake lashes with me. I left them at my dorm, and I don't really have nice lashes here, and I don't want to even attempt to put them on because they're so gross, so mascara's just gonna have to go. I'm gonna go back into here. I'm gonna dabble into my rides here, and not a fact. I'm gonna see how that goes. I'm gonna put this underneath my eye. So I'm actually gonna remove this real quick. Ooh, look at that. Sharp AF. I think I'm gonna go into Ranch, and I'm gonna do something crazy. Not really, but I'm gonna put this in my outer corner. Okay, so that is actually it for this eye look. I'm actually surprised that this doesn't look that bad. I wanted to do like a smoky eye look because I really don't do smoky eye on a daily basis, but like I feel like with this palette, definitely your top row is like your go-to if you're like late to work or something or going to school. You can play with that, but like everything else in this palette is definitely for like to basically play with and basically to create eccentric looks. And this is, for me, this is a little bit of an eccentric look. This is probably something that I would definitely wear on a night out, except for the black. And I think the black was just a little bit patchy, but I know black and yellow are very hard to basically perfect when it comes to shadow formula. I really did have to like build on that eyeshadow. Other than that, Not a Fact is literally one of my favorite shades. I think it's a beautiful purple. I really liked the duo that I had. I used Sleep Paralysis and then Diet Cola on the very top of my lids. Sleep Paralysis, like, it is a beautiful shimmer and everything like that, but I just wanted a little bit more of a bright look for this, and I just added Diet Cola a little bit. I wanted to use What's the Tea, but I didn't know how to use it. Like, I didn't, not for this look. Maybe for next time when I'm like bored or I'm going somewhere, I can use that shade. I don't think I've ever seen like such a minty, nice shade like that before. But yeah, other than that, I had no complaints. Like I said, this is my first Jeffree Star palette, and I will say, like, this is approved. I think for the price point, I am in college, like I've said before, and I think it was just really, really, like, $61 for all us college kids. That's literally a textbook. So this was a lot. This is a major splurge on my part, but it was worth it. I'm glad that I was a part of something so grand and so big in the beauty community. I know that Shane is going back and forth into debating like if he should release the documentary. Is he done or is he not? I mean, like, just the experiences and like actually get my hands on it when it was like first released was like, I'm not gonna see it as accomplishments because like I think that's gonna be like over the top, but I feel like it was really cool to experience that. Other than the black shadow and everything like that, everything was really pigmented and really worth my while. I could definitely see myself using this palette again and again. I mean, like, I will have to because I spent so much money on this. So, funny story. I actually filmed the ending to this, right? But then I realized I actually didn't have any lipstick on at the very end. And I'm like, no. So, here I am again. I'll say this again. I'm not really a Jeffree Star stan, nor am I a Shane Dawson stan. I'm neutral, especially with the beauty community where it can just flip-flop at any minute. I'm very neutral. I do respect him as a businessman. This was a great business move, having all the documentaries laid out before the release, trying to hype up the palette. I think that was genius. I will accept his apology for his past. I'm not saying any of you have to. For those who are kind of on the fence about it and anything like that, I just generally feel like if he's gonna make the effort to be inclusive, then we should at least like help him. Of course, as a small YouTuber, like, what can I do? You know what I mean? This is just my opinion. I'm just talking. I'm glad that Shane is getting his coins because he talked about how he was screwed over a lot during his time on YouTube and everything like that. And like, I would love for like, this is just so inspiring because I just, for one day, I would love to just have like a makeup line that of course is affordable, but as like luxurious as like Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I'm just rambling on now because I don't know how to end this video. Thank you again for sitting down and watching me just ramble, especially with this going on, my gum and everything, making me like have a lisp. Thank you so much for watching. But thank you again for watching. Like and subscribe. If you don't like me, don't like anything, or you can unsubscribe. That's fine with me too. I totally get it. Anyway, thanks you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.